Hey guys, and welcome back. So this is the preview of the sim that we set up together, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Primarily this bottom part here is really cool, and I want to point out a few things that are unique to the setup that we've created and how they are reflected in the visual here. Now, one thing that is very hard to get in Destruction is this combination of small, mid, and big clusters that are automatically or based on the motion. They get generated based on the motion, and because of the way we set up the mix constraint, we're giving the geometry a chance to break and bend along specific specific line or specific cracks. Not everything is allowed to rotate and bend and get destroyed. Okay, and if we play through this, you see how this block started off this section and this part. Okay, see this guy now? This type of stuff is really hard. Actually, I don't have any other ways of getting this type of motion without this technique. So if you guys have different ideas, please go ahead and implement them. But for now, what I'm getting with this technique is I'm pretty happy with it. And look at how after once we applied more pressure to it, it bent again and fractured again. So we're getting multi-layered fracturing. It's not just one, it's actually multiple times. And then it's deforming all this block here, and we're getting this awesome big block which is physically correct to see that kind of stuff. And then all these guys and this block here is made of a lot of small glue cluster and pin. It has a chance of bending everywhere, but because of the way because of the physicality of the system, it decided that this is what the system makes sense to bend along. And see how that made this awesome piece fall this way? It's very natural. Okay, and we're also getting a lot of cool clusters at the top. So this block here and this block is just falling down and hitting various pieces, and then we're getting this nice bending, which we're going to take a look at. And then if we follow this group, for example, if we keep looking at it, we will see that it's gonna fracture again. See how it did fracture again here? And all that because just one system. And we are now far removed from all that Voronoi look that everybody worries about, which we have already solved in the fracturing, but it's gone now. We don't have that issue anymore. Look at how natural these pieces are. All this information, all this visual is very believable and very realistic. We're also getting all these nice deformation. And let's take a look at this part. So what I've done is I wrote this out to disk to show, so we can take a look at this from close up. And the main thing that I'm not happy with, well, there's two things. One is there's an issue with the pieces exploding. This guy here, so that is probably a collision issue. Okay, so that's an issue. And then this top part is getting destroyed too much. Okay, the settings that we have works great for the bottom part, but anything here is too much. I think I like to retain some of this stuff. And the other reason is because it's also very heavy. If we look at the way the pieces are falling, look at this group, for example, it's very natural. I like the scale, especially that this is really big, but I think we can make it a bit lighter, so we'll probably try that as well. I like the scale, so we'll do a try with the scale, because that will lighten the weight here, and we're also going to make changes. You can see that the weight is too heavy because this part, which makes sense, it's very weak, didn't hold. See how it's getting teared apart there from the beginning, which makes sense. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is we are going to take a look at this from a close-up, and then we're going to add more logic to the constraint system and enforce the top part so it's stronger. It doesn't we have stronger forces here for the bend and for the glue. We're going to set all this in SOPs, and then yeah, we'll see how it goes. And then I'm going to show another cool thing that we're going to do with a constraint. So this is the points. I've cached it, double import geo, and create points to represent objects, and this is the geometry. Okay, so let's import this, our RBD pack geometry, transform pieces, and I don't need Kong for now. And I think this is not exactly the one we did. I think this this has a stronger angle, but I think, yeah, I changed the value accidentally. So here, if I go back, this guy was probably 0.01 in the previous video. I changed it to 0.05. Okay, and what this is going to give us, let me save sequence. Let me save this to disk. And I'm gonna open that. Okay, and let's do another preview. So this is the EXR, and let's change the view. Where is the gamma? Come on. Okay, and let's reload the sequence so I have it. Okay, and let's do another one. I'm gonna display Kong as well, so we get the same look. Okay, so the angle is much the angle at which the pin constraint breaks is much stronger. That's why we're getting all this bendiness. But let's play it and see. Maybe from the same angle. So this is the first result, and play should be coming up. And see, nothing is breaking, so all this is treated as like one sheet of metal or something like that. Which is cool. I mean, this is really hard to get this type of stuff, so the fact that we can achieve this is very cool. But we have to tune it down. Now, what I like to do is I like how much bendiness we can get. I like to have this in the sim, you know. And what's happening? Yeah, I think it crashed. Okay, so I'm gonna pause. Yeah, Houdini crashed. So I'm gonna pause and we'll resume in the next video. I'm going to preview the RBD sim that we just cached, that I cached, sorry, and then we'll compare them and explain a few more things. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in a bit.